Dear soul, there's a room inside you that you have locked shut for years. A quiet hidden chamber where memories of the one who left still echo against the walls, where the weight of being unseen has slowly pressed the air thinner, and where you taught yourself to survive by closing the door and pretending you no longer needed what once meant everything. And today I want to walk gently into that space with you, not to force it open, not to shame you for locking it, but to remind you that the very fact you created that room proves how deeply you can love, how bravely you can feel, and how powerfully you are wired for connection, because only a heart that loves fully ever aches this deeply when something is lost. You have become incredibly skilled at carrying loneliness quietly, haven't you? You show up, you answer messages, you sit at tables and smile at the right moments. You say, "I'm fine," with a voice so steady that even you almost believe it. Yet beneath the surface, there is a subtle ache, a quiet question that lingers in the pauses between conversations. Will anyone ever truly see me and choose me without hesitation? That question has followed you through seasons of change, through friendships that faded, through relationships that began with intensity and ended with silence, through nights when your phone stayed dark and your thoughts grew loud, and over time you started to wonder if maybe you were simply too much or not enough. Too deep for some, too quiet for others, too strong to be protected, too soft to be understood. But here is what you must hear today in the clearest way possible. Your loneliness is not proof that you are unlovable. It is proof that your heart recognizes depth and refuses to settle for surface connections. You were never designed for shallow bonds or half-hearted affection. You were created for real love, steady love, soul-level love, the kind that stays when moods change and circumstances shift. And yes, the waiting has been long. And yes, there were moments when you almost hardened yourself just to stop feeling the disappointment. But even then, you could not fully close your heart because something inside you still believes in meaningful connection, still hopes for someone who sees beyond your strength and notices your tenderness. That hope is not foolish, it is sacred. The truth is, every time someone walked away, you blamed yourself in small hidden ways, replaying conversations, analyzing words, wondering if you should have been quieter, kinder, less emotional, less demanding, more accommodating, and in doing so you slowly began shrinking parts of your personality just to feel safer. You convinced yourself that if you needed less, you would hurt less, but shrinking never brought peace. It only made that inner room more crowded with unspoken grief. So today, instead of asking why they left, ask a different question. What did their leaving reveal about what I truly deserve? Because sometimes what feels like rejection is actually redirection, and sometimes the people who could not stay were never meant to build a life with you in the first place. There are connections that enter your story to awaken you, not to remain with you. And though their absence hurt, they also clarified your standards, your boundaries, your capacity. You have learned what inconsistency feels like, what emotional distance feels like, what conditional affection feels like. And that awareness is preparing you for something healthier, something mutual, something that does not require you to beg for reassurance or translate silence into hope. You are not too sensitive. You are perceptive. You are not needy. You value closeness. You are not broken. You are becoming more aware of what aligns with your soul. And the room you locked was not a sign of weakness. It was your heart protecting itself while it healed. But healing does not mean you must remain closed forever. There is strength in reopening that door, in sitting with the memories without letting them define your worth, in acknowledging the pain without building your identity around it. The person who left did not take your value with them. The friendships that faded did not erase your light. The silence you endured did not diminish your voice. You are still whole, still capable, still worthy of being chosen freely and consistently. And the right connections, the ones that match your depth, will not be confused by your authenticity. They will be drawn to it. They will not be intimidated by your vulnerability. They will honor it. They will not disappear when things become real. They will lean in. But before that kind of connection can fully enter your life, you must stop seeing yourself through the lens of past abandonment. You must stop assuming that every new beginning carries the same ending. Not everyone will leave. Not everyone will misunderstand you. Not everyone will require you to perform just to be loved. There are people whose hearts beat in a rhythm similar to yours. People who crave honesty, loyalty, emotional safety, and who are also tired of temporary bonds. And when you meet them, you will realize that the waiting was not punishment. It was preparation. Preparation for a love that feels calm instead of chaotic, secure instead of uncertain, mutual instead of one-sided. Preparation for friendships where you do not feel like the only one trying. Preparation for conversations that flow without effort and silences that feel peaceful rather than heavy. You are not behind in life because you are still waiting. You are aligning, and alignment takes courage, especially after disappointment. It takes courage to believe again after being let down. It takes courage to open your heart when you know how deeply it can feel. But courage is something you have always possessed, even in your quietest moments. You showed courage every time you continued loving despite the risk. You showed courage every time you chose kindness instead of bitterness. You showed courage every time you resisted the urge to become cold just to protect yourself. That is not weakness. That is emotional resilience. And the room inside you, the one filled with memories and unanswered questions, does not need to remain locked because its purpose was never to imprison you. It was to teach you. It taught you how much you value being seen. It taught you that your heart longs for depth. It taught you that you cannot thrive in spaces where you must dilute yourself. So instead of seeing that room as a place of pain, begin seeing it as a place of transformation. Every tear you cried there strengthened your empathy. Every lonely night refined your understanding of connection. Every unanswered message sharpened your clarity about consistency. You are not the same person you were when you first locked that door. You are wiser now, more aware, more intentional. And as you move forward, let this truth anchor you. You do not have to chase what is meant for. And as you continue forward, something subtle but powerful begins to shift inside you. The same heart that once felt fragile starts to feel steady. The same mind that replayed old endings begins to imagine new beginnings. You start noticing that you no longer crave validation the way you once did. You are not scanning every conversation for hidden meaning. You are not shrinking your words to avoid being misunderstood. There is a quiet confidence forming within you, not loud or performative, but grounded and real. It is the confidence of someone who has survived emotional winters and discovered they are still capable of blooming. You are beginning to understand that being chosen by the wrong people would have cost you more than being alone ever did. And that realization is freeing. The loneliness that once felt like a verdict now feels like a season. A season that taught you how to sit with yourself. A season that showed you your own depth. A season that revealed how strong you are when no one is applauding you. You have learned to comfort yourself, to hold your own heart gently, to become the safe place you once searched for in others. And this does not mean you no longer desire connection. It simply means you no longer need it to prove your worth. There is a difference, a powerful difference. You now want love, but you do not beg for it. You welcome companionship, but you do not tolerate inconsistency. You open your heart, but you also protect your peace. And something else is happening beneath the surface. The people who are meant to walk into your life are being drawn toward the version of you that has healed, not the version that was still questioning their value. The connections forming ahead of you are responding to your authenticity. They are aligning with your boundaries. They are attracted to your clarity. Because when you stop chasing and start becoming, the right energy finds you naturally. You will meet people who feel like fresh air after years of holding your breath. People who do not make you decode their intentions. People who communicate clearly, who show up consistently, who match your effort without being asked. And when you experience that, you will realize how exhausting it was to fight for crumbs when you were always deserving of a feast. You may still have moments of doubt. Healing is not a straight line. There will be days when an old memory resurfaces, when a familiar ache tries to convince you that nothing has changed. But now you have awareness. Now you recognize the difference between fear and intuition. You recognize when your past is trying to protect you, and when your present is inviting you to trust again. You no longer let old ghosts dictate new opportunities. You pause, you breathe, and you choose from strength instead of scarcity. The room inside you that once felt heavy begins to transform. The walls no longer press inward. The air feels lighter. The memories are still there, but they no longer control the narrative. They are chapters, not the entire book. And you are still writing, still evolving, still stepping into spaces that reflect your growth. You are allowed to outgrow people. You are allowed to change your standards. You are allowed to expect reciprocity. None of this makes you demanding. It makes you aligned. There is also a deeper truth you are starting to embody. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. The right ones will see it immediately. The right ones will not need endless explanations. They will not require you to abandon parts of yourself to keep them comfortable. They will celebrate your ambition, your softness, your complexity. They will understand that your depth is a gift, not a burden. And you will finally feel what it is like to relax inside a connection instead of constantly bracing for impact. Imagine what your life begins to look like when you stop assuming loss is inevitable. Imagine waking up without the subconscious expectation that everyone eventually leaves. Imagine building friendships that grow stronger over time instead of fading without explanation. Imagine love that feels steady, not dramatic, safe, not uncertain, mutual, not one-sided. This is not fantasy. This is what becomes possible when you heal the part of you that believed abandonment was your destiny. And perhaps the most beautiful shift of all is this. You start choosing yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a self-honoring way. You listen to your needs. You respect your limits. You walk away from what feels misaligned without over-explaining. You trust your instincts. You prioritize environments that nourish you instead of deplete you. You no longer chase closure from people who cannot give it. You give yourself closure by recognizing that your value was never dependent on their ability to recognize it. As this transformation continues, your energy changes. You smile more genuinely. You speak more freely. You carry yourself differently. Not because life is suddenly perfect, but because you are no longer at war with yourself. You are no longer trying to earn love by overextending. You are no longer apologizing for your emotions. You are no longer dimming your light to avoid intimidating others. You are standing in your fullness, and that fullness is magnetic. The next chapter of your life is not about proving anything. It is about receiving. Receiving the kind of love that feels calm. Receiving the kind of respect that feels natural. Receiving the kind of friendship that feels balanced. Receiving opportunities that align with your growth. You have spent enough time surviving. Now you are stepping into thriving. And thriving does not mean you will never feel pain again. It means pain will no longer define you. So if you ever find yourself standing at the door of that inner room again, do not fear it. Walk inside with compassion. Thank it for what it taught you. Acknowledge the strength it built within you. And then open the windows. Let fresh light pour in. Let new memories form in that same space. Let laughter echo where silence once lived. Let connection replace isolation. Let peace settle where anxiety once lingered. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not too complicated to be loved. You are becoming more yourself with every step you take. And the more you become yourself, the more aligned your life becomes. Trust that the waiting was shaping you. Trust that the loneliness was refining you. Trust that what is ahead of you will feel different because you are different now. Your story is still unfolding. Your heart is still capable of extraordinary love. And the connections entering your life will not be accidents. They will be reflections of the growth you chose, the healing you embraced, and the worth you finally decided to believe in. Keep going. Keep opening. Keep trusting. The best chapters are not behind you. They are quietly, steadily, beautifully approaching. My beloved child, stay with me a little longer, because there's more I need to speak into your heart. You have heard your own thoughts for years. You have listened to fear, to memory, to disappointment. But now listen to my voice woven gently through your spirit. I was there in every moment you thought you were alone. I stood beside you when you stared at the ceiling in the dark, when tears slipped quietly across your face, and you wiped them away before anyone could see. I did not turn my eyes from you when others did. I did not grow tired of your questions. I did not withdraw my love when you felt unworthy of it. I know the exact weight you have carried. I know how it feels when someone you trusted walks away. I know how it feels when promises dissolve into silence. And I want you to understand something clearly. Their leaving was never a reflection of your value. It was a reflection of their capacity. You measured yourself by who stayed and who left. But I measure you by the depth of your heart, by the resilience of your spirit, by the way you kept loving even after you were hurt. When you felt unseen, I saw you. When you felt unheard, I heard every unspoken prayer. When you felt forgotten, I was arranging things beyond what you could perceive. There were moments I protected you from connections that would have broken you further. There were doors I allowed to close because what waited behind them was not aligned with your future. You called it loss, but sometimes it was my mercy. My child, you have asked me quietly, why has it taken so long? And I answer you now, because I care more about giving you something right than giving you something fast. I am not interested in temporary comfort for you. I am preparing lasting peace. I am shaping you into someone who recognizes real love when it arrives and does not confuse it with intensity or chaos. What I am bringing into your life will not require you to beg. It will not demand you abandon yourself. It will not disappear when things become real. I have watched you grow. You do not react the way you once did. You do not chase the way you once did. You are learning to pause, to pray, to breathe before attaching your heart. That is not distance. That is wisdom. That is maturity formed through experience. And I am proud of the quiet strength developing within you. There were nights you felt I was silent, but silence does not mean absence. Seeds grow in silence. Foundations are strengthened in silence. I was working in places you could not see, softening hearts, redirecting paths, aligning circumstances. What is coming toward you is not random. It is intentional. I am intentional with you. Do not let past abandonment convince you that everyone will leave. I am sending people who will reflect my steadiness. They will value honesty. They will honor loyalty. They will not be intimidated by your depth. They will not ask you to dim your light. They will recognize it as something rare. And when they enter your life, you will feel peace more than anxiety. You will feel clarity more than confusion. That is how you will know it is from me. But before they fully arrive, I am asking you to release the final pieces of bitterness you still carry. Not because your pain was invalid, but because bitterness binds you to what hurt you. I want you free. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was acceptable. It is choosing not to let it control your future. Lay those memories in my hands. I can hold what you no longer need to carry. You wonder sometimes if you are too much. Let me answer that now. You are not too much. You are deeply formed, deeply feeling, deeply capable of love. The world may have mishandled your tenderness, but I crafted it with purpose. Your empathy is not weakness. Your longing for connection is not desperation. It is design. I created you for meaningful bonds, not surface-level attachments. Trust the timing I have written over your life. I do not rush masterpieces. I do not abandon what I have started, and I have not finished with your story. The chapter ahead of you holds restoration. It holds relationships that feel safe. It holds conversations that bring life instead of confusion. It holds moments where you will look back and understand why certain things had to end. When doubt tries to return, remember this. I am closer than your breath. You do not walk into any room alone. You do not face any transition unsupported. Even now, as you read these words, I am strengthening something inside you. I am replacing insecurity with assurance. I am replacing fear with faith. I am replacing loneliness with the awareness of my presence. You are chosen, not temporarily, not conditionally, completely. I chose you knowing every flaw, every fear, every scar. And my choice is not fragile. It does not depend on your performance. It does not waver with your mood. My love is constant. So lift your head, my child. Stop rehearsing old endings. Stop expecting heartbreak as your destiny. The future I am guiding you toward is not built on abandonment. It is built on alignment. It is built on growth. It is built on love that mirrors the way I love you. Steady, patient, enduring. Keep your heart open, but keep it anchored in me. What is coming will not break you. It will bless you. And one day soon, you will stand in the middle of answered prayers and realize that the waiting was never wasted. I was writing a story far more beautiful than you could imagine. My precious child, let me continue to speak gently into the places that still tremble within you. I see the questions you do not always say out loud. I see the quiet comparisons, the moments when you look at others and wonder why their lives seem to be moving faster, why love appears to come easily to them while you are still waiting. But you are not behind. You are not overlooked. Your journey has never been a race. I am not measuring you against anyone else's timeline. I am shaping something specific in you, something that requires depth, patience, and refinement. There were relationships you begged me to save, doors you pleaded with me to reopen, and when they did not, you felt rejected not only by people, but by me. Yet what you could not see then was what I could see clearly. I saw the incompatibilities you were trying to ignore. I saw the future pain hidden beneath present excitement. I saw how much you were willing to sacrifice just to avoid being alone. And because I love you too much to let you settle for less than my best, I allowed certain things to fall apart. You interpreted it as loss. I saw it as protection. You thought I was withholding love from you. In truth, I was preventing counterfeit love from consuming you. Not every open door is meant to be walked through. Not every connection that feels intense is meant to be permanent. I need you to trust that when I remove something from your life, it is not cruelty. It is care. My child, I am more invested in your emotional safety than you realize. I do not want you entangled in relationships that require you to constantly question your worth. I do not want you bonded to people who only appreciate fragments of who you are. I created you whole. I will not send you someone who demands you come in pieces. The loneliness you experienced was not meant to harden you. It was meant to deepen you. It taught you how to sit with your own thoughts. It taught you discernment. It taught you to recognize red flags you once excused. You are not as easily swayed now. You notice inconsistency. You feel when something is misaligned. That awareness is my wisdom forming inside you. And yes, there were times you nearly closed your heart completely. Times you said, I will never open up like that again. But even then, I kept a small flame alive within you. A quiet hope. A belief that real love exists. That flame is from me. Guard it, but do not extinguish it. I am orchestrating encounters you cannot yet see. Conversations that will feel effortless. Friendships that will feel balanced. A love that will not confuse you. When it arrives, it will not feel like chaos. It will feel like peace. It will not rush you. It will respect you. It will not trigger your anxiety. It will calm it. That is how you will know it carries my signature. But while you wait, do not place your life on hold. Live fully now. Grow now. Laugh now. Explore your purpose now. The season of waiting is not empty space. It is sacred preparation. I am strengthening your identity so that when love comes, you do not lose yourself inside it. You have asked me to remove the ache from your heart. Sometimes I do not remove it immediately because it keeps you close to me. It reminds you of your need for deeper connection, not only with others, but with me. I want to be your first source, not your last resort. When you anchor yourself in my love, human love becomes a gift, not a necessity for survival. Remember this. I do not delay out of indifference. I delay out of precision. Everything I release into your life has timing attached to it. If it has not happened yet, it is because the fullness of time has not arrived. And when it does, it will unfold with clarity. Stop assuming that because it has not happened yet, it will never happen. Stop telling yourself that you are destined for disappointment. That narrative is not from me. I speak hope over you. I speak restoration over you. I speak companionship over you. I speak joy over you. There is a version of your future where you are no longer questioning if you are loved. You will know. You will feel secure. You will rest in it. And when that day comes, you will look back at this chapter and see how every tear shaped you, how every delay positioned you, how every closed door redirected you towards something better. Until then, walk with me. Talk to me. Give me the parts of your heart that still ache. I am not impatient with your healing. I am not frustrated by your fears. I am near to you in every step. You are not abandoned. You are being led. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. You are not denied. You are being prepared. Trust me with the rest of your story, my child. I am writing it with care, with intention, and with a love that will never walk away.